Hello everyone, welcome back. So Oraxia was released 3 hours and 23 minutes ago from me just starting this recording, and I think I've solved how to get a lot of synergies out of this Warframe and like min-maxing how to get her really strong. I'm just gonna go straight into it. I know a lot of YouTubers spend a lot, like 15 minutes and they show 5 seconds, and if you want to rewatch the video, like you watch the video in the bed and the next day you want to try to build and you have to find the 5 seconds and YouTube skips 10 seconds at a time, you spend like 5 minutes searching. It's really painful. I'm not gonna get you through that. The build should be linked in the description. However, I can't link the Warframe and the secondary weapon right now because it's not on a Warframe yet, but I will once I can. This frame, I think it's really strong and she's really fun to play. But let's just get straight into this. So first off, all her abilities, I removed one. Her first ability is really good for sustain, but it's not even needed with this build, and it's very annoying. However, it is kind of fun. You can like teleport up to the enemies, but you can also do the same with the fall basically, so it's kind of a worse fall. That's why I have subsumed here, and another reason I'll show later. You see this toxic, and this is toxic, and this is toxic. 3 times. I like how 3 different toxic symbols. So what I did was 3 Archon Shards with more toxic status damage, then 1 casting speed, which is enough, I think. And you guys know probably that I'm a sucker for casting speed. But 1 is enough, at least for me. I don't even think it affects 4, so it's more for Breach Search 2 and 3. And 3 is really fast, and 2 is also really fast, and Breach Search is also fast, but 1 sharp casting speed. And then I did 1 with corrosive stacks, and this, since the armor change, you don't even need to fully strip. This is enough. It's enough strip. I don't think it's even worth it to slot 2 greens with corrosive stacks, but you could. But I don't. Nah, since the change, not really needed. Okay, so you see, I have already spent 8 Forma. Because I had to test some different things and builds and mods. You see, I also used Shock Trooper and I used Nourish, and I tested another guy's build, so I've been busy. This is what we ended up with. I was pretty sure I wanted Summoner's Wrath, so we could use this. This is like a summon ability. You hit enemies, and when they die, then they release minions, and I think summons are great. I don't think we have enough summoner frames. I want a frame that has a lot of minions, and Nikos with his 7 is kind of nice, right? But there's not really much more. Atlas has 2 summoners, and they are really bad. Nidus, the maggots don't really do that much, right? Then there's the Volt with the Cavat, but that's really spammy, and that's not really how I think DE intended Volt to be played. Then there's Collabo with the Ascension. No, not Collabo. What is it called? Caliban with the Sentients, and they are really good, but it's only like 2 or 3 Sentients, or the one that summons more, and that's really meh. Also, this is, I guess, the first female summoner frame, which is kind of funny, I guess. I might be wrong. Am I wrong? I don't think so. So yeah, I really wanted this ability to work, so that's why Summoner's Wrath. And that also means I want a companion that can deal decent damage, and I'm gonna go into that. But since we did Summoner's Wrath, we also use Arcane Camisado, and these are really fast at blocking this. You'll get 60% ability strength, and they will get faster, which is great. Her passive also makes you invisible once you wall latch, which the 4 will do a lot of the time. So I built Arcane Crepuscular. You get ability strength and critical damage multiplier when you're invisible. I know some people don't like wall latching, and in that case the 4 is really gonna annoy you, because it's, as you see in the video, it's it's really needed on her. But you can do a Bellicose, because 4 also gives you more health, so you can get 60% ability strength. Wait, 72 ability strength, 72% ability strength. I think you can reach it, or well, you can almost reach it. Maybe if you proc this first and then I haven't tested it because I don't mind wall edging, but I think you can just slot Bellicose and you'll be fine. We want a lot of strength because Breach Surge, and this gives damage vulnerability, which is great, and it also has a nice radius. You see, that's why we build a bit of range, and strength. Also, this one they deal more damage from 750 to 2235, and this one you get extra damage in the form of toxin, and if you wall that, you get even more. Another reason why I really think you should do Crepuscular and not just Bellicose. For the Excellence you can use any, but a bit more range I really like. Flow because more energy, strength, duration, and reach. So that's Equilibrium also, that's enough sustain, that's plenty. So yeah, that's this build I think is really solid. I don't think you can improve that much more, even though this game sometimes go crazy, you know. So for the weapon, since we're running Crepuscular, I was thinking, okay, I want a weapon with a good critical chance, and kit guns are really good at that. They have good critical chance because you decide yourself. I mean, you can also do some in Canon, I guess. I think the turret is really good, maybe. Or maybe that's just in the Incarnon. I can't even see the Incarnon. It's really annoying. This one is 30%. But you see, this one is 35. That's really great. This one is 50. But that's a bow. Long range weapon is really nice because you sit in a corner. I was also thinking area of effect. But I just think you should really use a weapon with a lot of crit chance. And if you know the Nuking has a lot of critical damage and no crit chance. I really wanted a weapon with a lot of critical chance but no critical damage, and then the Crepuscular to fix that. But I really couldn't find one, and also I didn't even care because this Brass Rami Splicer Splat kit gun shoots like a toxic beam, and I think it fits to her toxin theme really well, and it also has in a toxin like the Warframe has a toxin, right? So you can just mod cold and then you have viral. So I did a on the munitions setup. If you don't have a ribbon, then you can just slot vigilant armaments or viral acceleration or the serration on this slot. Blight is really nice, but that's only because her force gives us toxin damage. So on another character you will just do merciless, right? And then you have Pax Charge. You don't even need Pax Charge, but it's nice. And Sinister Reach also gives us more beam length. So we go from 30 to 42, which is great, especially because 42 meters is plenty. Unless you want on some outdoors map and you want to snipe. But I feel like it's very rare and you can just change. I think this weapon is really good on her, and like I really could care about the Fashionframe and things fitting together, and this weapon I think delivers on that. Then for the secondary, I had the same thought process. I was using this, which is also a Rami Splicer. And you see I have flare on this. It's really good, but it has very short range. And the guy I talked with, he suggested me using the new pistol. Where did it go? The Sukutoid. It also has ability to like pull enemies together. I only did 5 Forma. The empty slot will be lethal foreign. And I'm gonna use this weapon now because it's her signature weapon, and I mean it has more range than the other one, and it's a new weapon, but just find a critical chance weapon and I think you're good. Even though this one 25%, I mean it's a bit lower than my Rami Splicer, but yeah, also if you wanted the Rami Splicer, it's Ramble Rami Splicer Splat. But just any critical chance secondary and I think you're good. And at least at least you need a decent weapon too, right? I mean some can have high critical chance and still be shit weapons, but yeah, you know what I mean. Just find a decent weapon with a good critical chance. Maybe the Incarnon of Thomas. No, that's 50%. I was thinking opposite. Is that even... What about... That's a low. Man, I don't know about that. And the melee, I was most... This one was the hardest for me to decide. Because... I mean, you can do something like this, right? And a lot of critical chance and I think that's great, and it also has a decently low critical damage multiplier. It was really tempting for me, but then I was thinking about the toxic theme, and I was looking for toxic weapons, and this one came up first, and I was like, I mean, you can also do the Serrator. Oh, that's too low critical chance. Oh, there's also Dakota Myra also had very low critical chance, I think, even though it's really fitting. Yeah, and I was like, this one has 25%. It's not that bad, and it has toxic, and I don't think it's easy to find a toxic weapon with critical damage, critical chance. You see, this one is actually really good. It has low critical damage and high critical chance, and then you get +3 when you're invisible. So this one might actually be really good, but this build is very outdated. I think you should do some influence build, and in that case I probably wanted more status. So this one is unfortunately outdated, but a Plague path actually fits, but that's, I mean, I didn't have the means right now, maybe later, and honestly I don't know what else would fit. But you can just do, again, any high critical chance, decent melee, and I think you're golden. For the focus tool I picked Nuking, but honestly, if you're gonna do Archon Bellicose, I think you need Madurai, because you get where is it? I don't really use oh, it's not Madurai, it's oops. Must be Vaseline, right? Oh wait, no, he was suggesting Madurai, that's weird. Oh, because, okay, that's because you use the sling strength, right? and then you use your 4 and you gain more health, and then you have Bellicose. Actually, let's just test it. Okay, so without you see, we need 3k HP for max. Let's do Madurai then. Oops, the sling strength, sorry, my bad. Oh my god. Yeah, that's 70% of 72. Also another thing, when the minions attack, you will get strength. So yeah, you don't even actually need Madurai, because we have Kamisato. But I just think, just pick any. I mean, I just did Synergies to never run out of energy, but yeah, just pick whatever here. Bellicose seems really tempting, but this is 60%, which is great, and summon movement speed. I don't want to take the movement speed away, and this one, I mean, if you're not gonna wall dance, for sure remove this and slot Bellicose, but the critical damage just insane. And also this build will be a hybrid build. It has like 2 playstyles, and I'm gonna show why now. So for companion, I picked the Shade Prime, because then you can kill the enemies with only your summons, spamming abilities, but you can also still use the 4 and jump around and get invincible, and then use her as a weapon platformer, so you can do either, right? And the Shade will still help you if you if you're going a tile set where you can't really use the 4. So it's like a backup, right? So either you use this to just spam abilities and go around, or you use it like the normal build where you just camp with the 4, and then if you go in a bad tile set, you use this to move. But you could also use the Diriga, and then use the calculated shot. But you see, now we need to do this one, and because I'm not gonna build Tenacious Bond, because I wanted the companion gun to have more damage, and that's you need the work class. The work class is probably best, but then you need 2 critical chance mods, and it's not really worth doubling down. So we move this 1.2 damage. We already have 3 damage, 3 final critical damage multiplier from the frame, and I think that's plenty. So do this, and then do this, but you can have both. That's great. I think you will do fired up on the last slot. Oh yeah, and then probably do fired up, and then remove heat, or you can. Oh, that's a bit scuffed. I didn't think about this. I wasn't gonna use this one. I haven't actually tested this augment before. This one. And we do need Synth Deconstruct. I guess you can do coolant leak. It's whatever. I mean, it's no biggie. But let's see the calculated shot if it's good. Remember that the duplex bond can't. They can't use the abilities, and I do think that it includes this. Let's see, when does it shoot? It should be 70 meters. You're trolling. Okay. Well, that's not how I expected that to work. But it's not a... Am I stupid? Am I missing something? Did it put it on right? Maybe it's just very unreliable. Shoot him! Shoot him! Okay. Yeah, that's why I'm not using that. Anyways, but one thing with the shade, which is unfortunate. The shade. Also, we're gonna use this build, which is kind of scuffed. But we still get reinforced. Wait, what? Why do I have reinforced bond? That's because I was copying from this one. I think it was. Wait, why did that get there? Because I copied this and then I removed Tenacious Bond, but I didn't put Reinforced Bond. But that's so scuffed. Oh, I was gonna put Mystic Bond. I probably did the, hit the wrong one. But you can just pick. I mean, it doesn't really matter on that slot. Kind of funny I put that on. That's so weird. They were side by side. I probably dragged the wrong one. Sacrifice also pretty nice for like a backup, I think I'm gonna do Sacrifice. You can also do Shield Charger, but just bear in mind don't use Tenacious Bond because on the work class I did this build. And you see all these, they have my ribbon with critical chance and critical chance, and this one only 1, so we can build decent damage. And this gun is actually pretty good, but what you saw it before with the Diriga. But there's one issue though, and that is when you're invincible, it doesn't shoot. So that's a bit counterintuitive. So if you want to use the build with only 4 and you don't even want to go out of 4, then you should probably use the Diriga. Then also this is bad because it pulls enemies up to where you are if you're wall hatching, and then the minions can't hit it. But even though you're invisible right now and it doesn't shoot them, we can just use duplex bond. So let's use the breach charge a couple times, and then you'll see now we have these clones and they still shoot. So it's really no biggie. I think for me, honestly, I think I'm gonna have 2 or 3 clones, and I think it's good enough. I mean, I'd rather be able to run around and have invincibility than being forced into using 4 or wall hatching all the time. And the nice thing about this is that now you can just run through the level and kill the enemies with abilities, right? And you will have invincibility. But if you want to use a weapon platform, then you can use your build-in ability, and I'm gonna show that now. So that was all the builds. So let's go over the abilities, and this was the Shade build, and this was the Miraculous Prime build. And that's what I recommend doing, because as you just saw, let me show you first. So either you're gonna run around the map, Shade cloaks you, then you put down your 2, and now they are stuck and they have damage vulnerability. You can then nuke them. Actually, your 3. You see, they actually die from just that and your sentinel, and now these minions will start spawning, and then they last for like 70 seconds, right? 57 seconds, and they deal really good damage. You see, so you can nuke like this. You see, it's actually really strong. It's amazing. So now the idea is that you just run around the map, use 2, use 3, use a pre-charge, and they're already dead, right? It's really strong. I think this is a really nice playstyle. But then we also have the weapon platform. Okay, so now it gets juicy, because now you want to move. Now you want to camp. Okay, you have like a defensive exit. You want to camp this fucking pop-up. So use your 4, right? Then you can dodge, and you get wall latched, and now you're invisible. So you get that critical damage on your gun, and then you can just jump around. Oh my god, that's so annoying. They just jump around like this, kill the enemies. Place your 2 in hotspots, where enemies spawn from. Make sure to keep 3 up by hitting enemies with these darts. They are really annoying to use. They have a really tight spread. But that's what you need to do to get the minions. Like, let's say you're in this corner. So you do need to aim it. It's not really that auto. So you're camping, you're the little spider on the wall, right? And you get your invisibility from wall latching, and then you get to either a tile set that has no roof, right? So you can't dodge, which I'm pressing shift out of range. You have no roof and no walls, and it's really big. Or you are very indoor closed area. And being in the 4th ability is really a pain, because you have to go through all these small corridors, right? And you need to wall latch 5 times to get 20 meters distance. So you just go out of your 4, and then you can just go through the rooms nuking with the Shade keeping you stealth, right? So I think it's a really great way to have 2 playstyles in one. I really recommend the Shade. But if you're only gonna if you're gonna do a defense mission and you just want to only camp, I mean, you can do no Shade and just camp with the 4 and jump around, and then you maybe use the Diriga or another companion. But I just think this is really flexible, and I really like this, and I recommend doing this. The Shade, I think it's great. I want to show the naturalist last, and I want to show how stupid it is. Because I was thinking, oh yeah, that's great, then you can easily hit them with the 3. Yeah, no, it's really annoying. Let's just wait. We need to spawn some minions. Oh, it doesn't do it here. That's weird. Well, I was in the Sanctuary Onslaught, and it was pulling them up in the air, and they were stuck. Oh, maybe that's only in the web. Oh no. Is that a thing? Yeah. Okay, so that's stuff. If you have a web out... You see that? Oh no. So if you have a web out and the enemies gets pulled up, that's not enough, but you can probably imagine that if they get pulled up enough, then suddenly they're out of range of your minions, and that's... You see that? How will the spiders kill him now? I mean, okay, yeah, that one can shoot, right? But the little spiders, nope. These little buggers, they will be useless. So the nozzles actually hurt you. Oh no, don't use that. Don't use that. Hell no. World-class or Diriga, definitely. That's the wrong one. Sorry, not Nautilus. You're gonna use the Shade or the Diriga. Maybe with the workless. I think this is pretty good. I don't know if this is optimal. I don't know if you should do more elements or maybe saturation. Also, these mods actually they don't work on the companion unless if you stack them on your weapon. So you do need to be in your fall and shoot your primary weapon to enable these. So if you just want the version where you want around the mission only, then you should probably resign these, but I recommend doing a bit of both. Sometimes camp with the fall and sometimes you run for a mission, and you maybe even if you're running around, you can still shoot the enemies, right? And you can be about to die, and then when you're about to die, you go like bam, I'm in my fall now, right? Like you run around the mission and you shoot, so you lose your cloak, and oh no, you're dying. Fuck, and then you just fall, and then you just run the wall, and now they can't see you. So that's great, right? That was a bit saucy. I almost got knocked to my death. Also, you are immune to status effects when you're in this form, which also means you shouldn't be able to be knocked down. Which is great. That's also why I didn't feel prime sure-footed. Also, I really like the look of this. It's like that Spider-Man villain. But that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope your Oraxia got some improvements, and you guys learned something. Let's go over the Fashionframe real quick. The Oraxia Talus helmet, you can just use either. It's basically the same. Skin, no options. The noble animations for Oraxia. All the Arachne chests, that's the new from her. Sugila Ephemera, which is also from her. Even though I was thinking the spin in it Ephemera might be great. But I think it's too green. I think this one is a bit better, a bit more stylish. Then I do the Mag Heirloom, and I know this is a limited edition time thingy. But I mean, Ember Heirloom, whatever you can, or you can just use no signet. The primary, we have this white from Smoke, the whitest white. Then we have this gray from Smoke, which is like from the bottom left, you go like 6 up. Then we have this pink from Valentine, it's like 5 down in the middle. And then we have this gold from Tenno. And then the same pink. And then we have this first green, neon green, basically it's almost shining, from Eximus. And then the same pink and the same green. And I didn't do Strindana because I think it was too obnoxious. I usually think they are way up too obnoxious, even though I like with the tail and stuff. Like this, I think the Gigolor could be pretty great. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, but yeah. Also, the gold. The golden color I used, she looks like a prime frame, even though I know it's a normal one. I do think the gold looks great. It's actually basically just I took the normal look and I spiced up the color, and on the accents then I put gold. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that, and thanks you guys so much for watching. Is this where I ask for like and subscribe? Oh no, I feel so bad, but they say it works, so yeah, maybe I should ask. No, I can't do that, sorry. Good luck, have fun, see you next time.